Samael is an archangel. In the Pauline Arts, Samael is the archangel of Mars, the teaching angel for Mars. He's one of the 8 teaching angels. Samael has been the teaching angel in this system for a long, long time. Some of the most famous occultists of modern day that work with the Pauline Arts work with the same 8 teaching angels that we do. People like Sybil Leek, people like Alex Sanders, people like Michael Howard, people like Madeleine Montalban, Leo Vinci, David Goddard. So there's a bunch. It's not just something unique unto Ariel Gatoga. This is the system, a very old system of angelic magic that uses these 8 teaching angels. Some people still only work with the 7 classical angels. Some people work with a few more, and sometimes we do as well. But we stick primarily with these 8. Now, Samael's got a varied reputation, and it's important to understand the difference between who he is in the Pauline Arts versus what his reputation is in different lore. He's all over the map in angel lore. Some people consider Samael to be the angel of death. Some texts have written that Samael's the prince of demons. Some texts have said that Samael's the angel that tempted Adam and Eve in the garden, that he seduced Eve. Some say that he married Lilith. And remember that angelic lore comes from disparate sources, many very disparate sources. But Samael as a word means the venom of God or the severity of God. The way that Samael is in actuality worked with is as an angel of God, not a fallen angel, not a stand-in for Satan, not a stand-in for anything other than Samael, works on the 5th sphere of the tree of life, and is the great warrior angel and the great protective angel. And he rules over 2 astrological signs, Aries and Scorpio. Now, some people just cannot stomach the fact that Samael is part of our tradition, and a very old tradition of Pauline magic, angelic magic. And so they will tend to use a stand-in of Kamuel or Kamael. And that's a very different angel. It has nothing to do with who Samael is. But you are more than welcome to use that angel if you desire, but it's not part of our system. And it's not up to me to change the system either to suit people. So if Samael is something that's scary for you, you have a couple of options. You can either recognize that there's nothing to be scared of and that Samael's not going to hurt you and is not a fallen angel, is not Satan, and is not a demon. You can just come to understand that. Or you can work a different system. And if you change things around to make your own system, then you do that too. You can do that too. It's just that you're not going to be able to tap into the same current of magic that we're working with. You're creating your own current. And there's you can do that. That's the thing about the craft. You can do what you will. There's no witch police. You can do anything you want. But remember that Samael has been maligned, and similar to Lucifer, who has been maligned. Lucifer and Satan are not the same entity at all, but that's a different lecture completely. And some people come from the point of view, and there is validity to this in angelic magic, that these angelic beings are not entities as much as they are offices. So the severity of God happens to be an office. And so many people believe that souls evolve and become angels, and they evolve through the different offices and they have different roles that they play. That's an interesting way of thinking of it. The way I think of it is that angels are messengers of God, are God's instantaneous response to our own problems, our own mistakes. As soon as we make a mistake in our own lives, as soon as we make a mistake about our own understanding of who we are as children of the infinite, God has a response to that. And you can look at that response as being an angel. If you've made errors, or you're coming into problems as a result of errors in human consciousness in regards to anything to do with Mars, Samael is the answer to those errors, not the cause of them, not something to be afraid of. Samael is there to help. So with Mars is all about war and fighting and conflict on one hand. So it's not that Samael will cause war and fighting and conflict, but Samael is the answer to war and fighting and conflict. And so we say that if you bring your battles to Samael rather than fighting them all by yourself, Samael, being an angel, has the ability to fight those battles on your behalf in a way that benefits everyone. You're not capable of doing that by yourself. That's why you would call on Samael, not because you're going to sick Samael on somebody. You can't sick an angel on somebody. It's not the same thing as a demon where you can actually tell them what to do. You don't tell an angel where to go and what to do and how to be. You ask an angel for help, and the angel teaches you. The angel teaches you and helps you and either fixes it for you, as in a miracle, or guides you to fix it yourself so that you can learn the lesson. That's what an angel is there for, is to help, is to be the messenger of God so that you can grow, you can evolve, and you can become more and more like who you are meant to be as a soul rather than who you have decided you are as an ego. So all of the angels are like that. Now, a fallen angel is not, first of all, that's not what Samael is, no matter what story you have read about him. That in the Pauline Arts, Samael is not a fallen angel. Samael is a very high-level angel. But the fallen angels, that's another story. We can do a whole lecture on them. But the fallen angels are depicted as angels that have succumbed to their own weaknesses. But in reality, that's not the truth. In reality, a fallen angel is one that has come down to be with us, to be amongst us until we no longer need to be here. So we decide that we are going to rejoin what they would call the eternal kingdom of heaven, rather than living in this world of separation and illusion, which is what we have decided to do. So when we fell, the way of looking at that, when we fell out of the Garden of Eden, so to speak, some angels fell to help us, to be here with us. That's the way an occultist looks at the fallen angels. Not that they are warring against God, not that they are out warring against God, because God can't war against themselves. And angels are an extension of God. Angels don't have egos. Okay, angels aren't like us. So there is no such thing as a fallen angel to seduce you and attack you and get you to separate yourself even further from God. That's not what an angel will do. That's not an angel's function. And an angel doesn't produce their own function. And an angel is not an egoic being. So an angel can't fall in that regard. That's impossible. But they can come with us into where we are. They can be with us so that they can help us rise out of those problems again. But that's not what this is. This is not a fallen angel in that regard. Samael is a very high-level angel, a very benefic angel who has, in our system, been charged with the task of being the teaching angel for Mars and governs the signs of Aries and Scorpio. And any of the parts of life which are ruled by Mars or those two signs is what you will bring to Samael. So remember, Samael also rules machinery and surgery, and also recovery from illness. So Samael has a lot of good things. Samael has no negative qualities. I've read so-called angel experts that say, well, angels have their positive and negative side too. No, they don't. There's no positive and negative in the mind of God. There's only oneness. There's only oneness. And so angelic beings are pure forces of good, and their name tells you what thought of God they are coming from. So this is the severity of God. It's the venom of God. So anywhere there is severity and venom in your life, Samael will help you.